Kifinti, Bonjour, Hola, and welcome to Purposeful Fridays. My name's Catherine, and those that are following me, I know that I've been missing in action for a couple of weeks, but I know that you also know that I am travelling at the moment. And I have to admit that the adjustment to time zones and finding the right balance between all the sightseeing and work and having time to relax has been a little bit of a challenge, but I think I'm slowly starting to work that through and find that right balance. But it's also my travels that have, I guess, inspired today's topic, which is ego. We all love ego, don't we? It's an interesting topic, and ego quite often gets a bad rap. I quite often liken ego to, I don't know, you've probably watched the cartoons. I watched as a child, where you have those two little, an angel and a devil sitting on your shoulder. And I liken ego sometimes to the little devil sitting on your shoulder and nattering away at you. But ego actually has its place. It actually is a good thing. Ego helps you create and define an identity that makes you unique. It also helps you, I guess, improve. It also creates an increase in self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-belief. But ego can also, I guess, serve you in not so good ways. When ego goes rogue, and it's that little devil constantly sitting on your shoulder talking to you, when you let that little devil take over, ego creates or makes you become incredibly self-centered, where everything around everything within the world and within your world is about you, and it's what's important to you. It's your agenda, it's your beliefs, it's your ideas, and nothing else matters. And quite often, at the extreme, your ego will drive the accomplishment of what is important to you at any cost, and it quite often impacts those around you in a negative way. So you're probably wondering, what does ego have to do with traveling? And what I've kind of realized is that when traveling, you have to let your ego, or you have to tame your ego, you have to let go of your ego. You're in a new country with new traditions, new cultures, new expectations, or different expectations, different ways of doing things. And if you're being driven by ego, you're going to find it extremely difficult to adjust. You're not going to want to accept those different ways and open yourself up to new experiences. You're actually going to miss out on learning new ways of doing things, new opportunities, new ways to grow and become a different, better person, a more accepting person, you might say. And I have struggled with that at times, because as human beings, we quite get stuck in our ways, and we like the routine, and we like the structure, and we like the comfort of knowing what's happening and what's next. And when you're traveling, that's not always the case. You have to let go of I guess, what you're used to, and start to accept and adapt to new ways of doing things. So I'm learning more than ever to be present and be humble. And one of the most easiest ways to do that when you're traveling is actually to almost take a step back and look at the culture and try to understand the history of the country and how that has created the people and the culture that you're within. And when we were in Malta in particular, it was very, very difficult not to be humbled. You're surrounded by so much history and natural beauty. When you're standing in front of 5,000-year-old metallithic temples that were created by man, by hand, it's very difficult to stand there with an egotistical attitude and just snub it away. You stand there feeling incredibly small, almost, wondering what it is that you're contributing to this world and to history. And we all do that. We are creating history every day, but when you look at these mammoth structures and the history behind it, it often sometimes makes you feel like a very small cog in the rest of the world and the rest of history. So this Purposeful Friday, take some time to reflect on how well you control your ego. Is ego preventing you from learning new things? Is it preventing new opportunities opening for you? Is it preventing you from growing and becoming a better person? Or have you learnt to tame your ego quite well? Do you practice mindfulness? Are you a humble person? I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and hopefully it won't be as long between Purposeful Fridays from here on in. Take care.